Hello and welcome to Money Lap Group Chat. It's Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. We've got some NASCAR topics, from Formula One topics, and maybe we're going to try something different. I don't know. We also have a little guest who went to the Miami GP. We'll dive into that and get his feelings from being on the ground. He got there via this podcast. We'll get into that. Show. Anyway, let's start it. Welcome, boys. We got AJ Henderson, video guy, all-around great guy. Great video guy.
Well,
Mendoza,
thank you.
on a heater right now. He is violent with rage from something I brought up before we started recording.
That was utter and complete bull baloney.
You could use hogwash in there if you want another term for something like that. Let's tell them what the topic was. The topic was this was a report that came out before the Miami GP this past weekend, and it basically says that F1 will eclipse NASCAR as America's #1 motorsport by 2034. And their whole reasoning is that you have an aging fan base in NASCAR and a younger fan base in F1, and it will just keep growing, which then this Miami race lost 1 million viewers from last year, and I want to say that maybe that's not the case. But nonetheless, putting that aside, it is an interesting discussion. If you look at the TV ratings, which we'll dive into today, which I sent you guys in the group chat of all the TV ratings from this past weekend, you know, basically NASCAR beat F1 by a couple 100,000 people being on cable versus being on ABC broadcast, which is pretty impressive nonetheless, which honestly 5 years ago would be insane to even comparing the two, but that's where we are. And the big difference, though, was the 18 to 49 demographic in the TV ratings. F1 was like 790,000, NASCAR was like 450,000. And that's their whole thesis. Now, their thesis kind of gains crescents from I'm sorry, that's not the correct terminology. This guy can't talk right now. He has no words. What are the words he wants? Who knows? All right. Anyway, the basis of what they're trying to say is that, and what their logic is being built on, is that F1 will continue its trend that it's been on without any faltering. And the other trend they're assuming continues for another 9 years is that NASCAR doesn't gain any headway on younger fans. They also are probably making an extrapolation that all these people that suddenly like F1, maybe as they get older, they like NASCAR. Maybe NASCAR is just an older person thing. I don't know. And they're also basically just saying that NASCAR is not going to have a lightning in the bottle moment, just like they had with Drive to Survive, right? Which no one can predict. No one can predict what happened with them and Netflix and their lightning in the bottle moment. So I don't think it's the craziest thing I've ever read. I do think that's a tough putt when you look at NASCAR also having the Xfinity Series, which is doing record numbers right now, and its growth, and it's probably fighting F1 to be the second biggest in America right now. And IndyCar are all kind of lined up with each other, depending on how you want to factor their amount of races and that sort of thing. So we'll see. I don't know. Josh, you were fired up about it.
Yeah, who the hell put it together?
I think it was let me find who did it.
Was it the FIA? Was it Mercedes F1, Ferrari F1?
Oh, it's definitely someone who had something to gain.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix. Like I just I'm sorry.
By the way, you guys made fun of me when I said Miami would go longer than Las Vegas, and it signed a contract till 2041 over the weekend.
I said it would be. I didn't say it would go longer. I just said Las Vegas. Now, if I'm wrong, please somebody clip it and send it to my inbox, where I will promptly block you. Can you? I said it would be more prestigious, the Las Vegas Grand Prix, because I think racing and winning down the strip of Las Vegas is more prestigious than winning in a parking lot somewhere in Miami. I don't even know where it's at, like the south side of Miami.
So the football field, right?
Yeah.
For a non-playoff football team?
I can't find where this thing came from. Google's not helping me out. I saw it on Grand Prix 24/7. I can't find the person.
Oh, so it was shared by
down.
Yeah, they probably realized that it was
just complete hogwash
propaganda that you're just willfully spreading on the internet.
Oh, they're basically saying that there was a consistent 15% average annual growth in Formula One viewership between 2018 and 2023, which that's kind of probably wrong because it all happened post 2020. So
Did they just like average it out and just like, yeah, we know we were going down and then suddenly we had a massive spike and now we're going down again. But if we connect the start and the end line, it's a 15% growth.
It's probably what they did. Yeah. Yeah. Should we talk? All right. Well, then that topic's done. It's moot. We're not going to dive any deeper. Everyone listening and watching is like, what the hell happened here? What do we got for show notes, Josh? What should we get into from the NASCAR world?
I feel like we should talk about Miami since we're already talking about Miami. How about let's just go and crown a champion in Miami. How does that sound?
It's finally official. It happened. It's happening. We're going to Homestead, Miami for the season finale in 2026. Some cool stuff from Ben Kennedy, who said basically that he went further into saying Daytona and Talladega on a road course will not happen. Basically, a super speedway and road courses will not be a place that they crown a champion, which makes total sense. And he had a quote that said, "We've unanimously agreed it needs to look and feel what we'd expect traditional NASCAR racing to look and feel like." So I'd agree with that. That's what it should be. And that, narrows it. We've already had this discussion. It narrows it down to basically, and then they mentioned weather and all that sort of stuff. So you basically narrow it down to Miami, Vegas, Phoenix, Charlotte, maybe, right? Maybe you could throw a Bristol in there, but I think you'd be playing with fire in terms of being cold. Martinsville, the same thing. I mean, Martinsville's only the week prior anyway, most times, so it could be Martinsville. That would be insane. I think they'd want the short track package to be better, but I think it's, those couple tracks are probably the only ones that make sense at this time. Are you happy, guys?
I feel like if Martinsville can host it, that opens up the absolute floodgate of places that could host a championship race.
Really? I don't think it would be Martinsville because the other problem with Martinsville, I just didn't even think of it, is the facility. It's just not. It's not a championship venue. You can't do all the stuff. It's too condensed on the inside. Having all the VIPs and everything, that's a tough putt. Real tough putt.
What is with you and tough putt today? You've said
I don't know.
Like
it's in my mind
already.
It's in my mind from a joke the other day. So, yeah. AJ, you've been quiet. You always start off a bit quiet. Yeah. For our listeners and viewers, AJ always starts quiet, and then if you were to stay till the end, he gets really vocal later. It's like he shows up.
Well, I've been at work all day talking to people, and I come here and talk to you people. It's a lot.
What does you people mean?
Who you call
you, Parker?
Felt very aggressive.
My coworkers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Martinsville is the best option for the championship race. I don't know what you guys are on about. You think they can't build like a stage somewhere and like move around the infield or something? You don't think they can do that?
It's really tight.
They can figure it out.
I have
a bridge over the top of it.
I just gotta say, imagine that photo of Jeff Gordon when he won there for his final race with the light just casting on him, with him sitting on the front stretch and him holding up a Cup Series championship trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they have all their lights that they can do the thing where like they all blink and flash and all that, and then the train can just have a championship train. Hauls them off.
Oh yeah, that's how you leave the championship race. You go on a train. They drive the car onto the train, and then the train.
Hey, you're like, wait, what about my car? You'll get it later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think Martinsville would be the
anyone get
best
my car? It's like, no, you have to leave on this train. You have to leave on this train.
Yeah, you have to. It's like tradition,
Yeah, the tradition that doesn't exist yet. One of the things that might help the short track package on Holler Talk, the NASCAR podcast, they discussed that they're seriously considering going to 750 horsepower again. I think it's kind of a throwaway.
Aren't they like 650 right now?
They're like 670. So it's like, okay, cool.
Okay, so it's like, it's not really that much of a change.
Is it just removing the tapered spacer and sending them out there? Is that what they're talking about?
It's probably just a little bigger tapered spacer.
What happens if you just take it off? What does the engine do?
Does it produce power, right?
Does it produce a lot more power, but it gets
900
But we talked about this on Monday. It just becomes less reliable. And, they're trying to run these engines 3-4 races. So it just becomes way less reliable. So, I mean, I'll be honest.
Figure it out.
Look, we've had this discussion 400 million times. the funny part is you can buy a crate motor for $30,000 that makes 1,000 horsepower and comes with a warranty. So I don't like that excuse.
Doesn't make any sense.
No. Boys, I was in New York last night, New York City, at a Morgan Stanley event. It was some sort of sports and finance people coming together. And it was interesting. It was cool. Went with my buddy Andrew Stallings and met some interesting people in the sports world. But the funniest thing was when I discussed NASCAR. Obviously, I was the only NASCAR driver there. And every time I talked to someone, it was interesting because they immediately wanted to talk F1, of course, and talk the media rights deal for F1, which is still being discussed. I did hear some rumors that maybe it will be sort of across different platforms, similar to what NASCAR's done, where NASCAR is Fox, Amazon, Turner, NBC for the Cup Series. There's some discussion that F1 could be split across different streamers and possibly ESPN a little bit, and possibly Apple and some other, maybe another one coming in there, which would be interesting to see. There's been a lot of discussion of Apple being the number one leader for going for the F1 contract, which I think would be interesting because they have the F1 TV deal, which I guess they would have, if they went to a full streamer, they'd have to cut that off in America, I would think. Otherwise, why would you go to Apple versus their own product, right? I think they need to be on broadcast for the reach, right? To be discussing them getting closer to NASCAR, they got to be on broadcast. So that was interesting. Some interesting discussions. The NASCAR side, I had one discussion with someone who's really influential in the sports and creator world. And they were like, man, like I appreciate NASCAR and I see that big number it got for his TV contract and that sort of stuff. And he's like, but here's my problem. I can't name a single driver to you right now. I was like, yeah, that's not a good situation. It's the same thing, star power, all that stuff. So a little insight from the New York City sports elite people out there to what we're talking about.
Well,
similar to where you were, AJ, today.
Where was I at? I was at work.
Yeah, I know. Similar situation.
Oh, okay.
That was
as we all know, the sports elite business people know what's best and what will make the fans happy, right, guys?
Yeah, of course. They always got
100%.
Yeah.
They'll save us the most money.
I always trust executives to make decisions that absolutely align with the core fan values and what they're hoping for out of the sport.
Every F1 fan I talk to, they're all like, you know what? Having this $12 subscription for F1 where I get to see everything, and
this sucks.
That's all I got to worry about. I just got to log into the app or the website, just $12 a month, not a big deal. That's awful. I'd rather have 6 different subscriptions and watch F1 that way. That'd be awesome.
The benefit about that, of having all the 6 different subscriptions, is my wallet is lighter every month. So I'm throwing my back out. It
makes you work harder. Yeah.
I got to work harder to make sure that I can afford everything. And I also get the benefit of when I can't eat dinner, I can at least watch new shows that are also on the streaming platforms that I wasn't going to watch because I didn't subscribe to them previously. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
No, that's a good point. You'd want to be spread thinner than just one space. To go to. Do you guys watch do you watch the F1 TV broadcast or the Sky Sports one?
Oh, Sky Sports for sure. That's the one with Crofty, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
I like the F1 TV broadcast. I haven't had F1 TV for a couple of years just because it's available on ESPN, and with YouTube TV, it's not that difficult for me to get what I'm trying to watch wherever the heck I'm at. So for me, F1 TV isn't necessary, and I tried it for I think the 2022 season I got F1 TV, and it's a phenomenal platform. And NASCAR, if you're listening to this, you should really consider looking into a platform like this, because the ability to see all the in-car cameras is nice, but to mix that with the different views or create custom views or to have a dashboard or view different dashboards, the feeds, or pull up just literally the audio only and hear no one. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Well, your problem there is that F1 is asking for $150 million for their rights per year, and they're getting balked at it by a lot of media rights holder or media companies. Meanwhile, NASCAR has a $1.1 billion TV contract per year. So
they just ask for less money.
Yeah,
maybe
F1, not
going
to happen. Not going to happen.
Maybe if F1 considered this, I mean, maybe if they just built their schedule to where everyone in America could watch it when they're awake.
That's not going to happen either.
I mean,
they're
that
global
is, that is probably partly why they have such a struggle getting more U.S. fans. It's like, okay, we'll have to schedule it to be up at like 1 a.m. Man, that's killer.
That's why I thought that report was a bit preposterous as well, because the time zone difference, for 38 weeks, NASCAR is going to be at the prime time to be watching a race, whereas F1's going to have tons of weeks where they are basically, irrelevant at 3 a.m. No one's going to be watching. So,
yeah.
Speaking of F1 guys, we mentioned at the top of the show, last November for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, Landon Castle and I did a deal with motorsport.com and all of us where we did like a live stream with them. And in that stream, we gave away an all-inclusive paid trip to the Miami GP. And one of our good friends won it. We swear it wasn't rigged in any respect. He was just one of the few viewers out there, and he did all the right things to win this trip. That was Dylan Nadwani, friend of the show, friend of our old sim racing stuff, has been a photographer for us, has taken some photos of me at some NASCAR races. Welcome to the show, Dylan. How was your experience down in Miami? And we want like the real, none of the BS. Be honest.
Yeah, for sure. It was some, as someone who's been doing NASCAR like their entire life, just been around NASCAR, it was a completely different experience. Like someone told me before I went that it would be like sensory overload. It was that and then some. Like anything that you could want.
Where were you?
So I was in 3 different, let's see.
I think you're on the wrong mic.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix that.
All right, that's
there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, you sound way better.
Phenomenal.
Power of technology. Wow.
Yeah, gotta love it. But yeah, so I had 3 different tickets actually. So I was in turn 1 for Friday for the sprint qualifying and practice, which actually didn't make it there for practice because how the flight worked out and everything. So I decided to get all my shopping out of the way, just get all that done right off the bat. In turn 1 for Friday, Saturday, I was in the marina. I think I was 6 through 8, that complex of turns. And then Sunday for the actual race, I was in turn 18. So it was kind of got 3 different perspectives, but it was all unique in its own way. So got to see them, like you hear about how fast they are, seeing them going into turn 1. You can see how well those cars are engineered and how just the braking ability of those cars is just it's something else. So
well, what always got me when I saw them for the first time back in 2003, 2004 at Montreal was I was down the casino hairpin, and I'll never forget, them going by and the sound, and that was the V10 era, so it was a completely different experience. But then when they would accelerate out of the casino hairpin and sort of hit warp speed and suddenly disappear down the straightaway, I would always think like, whoa, that is fast. Like that's insane. It really boggles the mind. And you watch like a stock car do that occasionally, maybe at places in the past, like Michigan, you could tell the speed a little bit if you went down the corner and that sort of thing. But an Indy car, I feel like that same feeling happens at the Indy 500 in qualifying. If you stand on pit road right at the end, as they turn off into turn 1, it's so fast and you can like get a great feel for the speed. But for those cars, every time they accelerate away from you, it's unbelievable to watch.
Oh yeah, like even just telling when like on Saturday for qualifying, you can tell when they were pushing and when they weren't, because it was miles difference between when they're just trying to either get heat in the tires or try and not seeing them at speed versus pushing versus not, you can definitely tell a difference because it was I don't know how much faster they go, but you could tell when they were weaving through the 4th through 6th, coming into that area, coming around the turn, there was lightning quick.
Man, that's some technical analysis if I ever heard it. Thank you for that. That was beautiful. That was great. Wow. My goodness. Hey, Josh, can we cut his mic off again?
I did have a question, and you're going to be able to answer this. I've had a long-standing debate with Parker that Miami is not the most prestigious United States race. Now, going on the ground there, does Parker just like it because of the atmosphere and the vibe of Miami? And is Las Vegas actually the more prestigious one? Now, I know you haven't been to Vegas, but you give us an on-the-ground vibe of there.
I feel like I told somebody, can't remember. Actually, funny enough, I told one of my Lyft drivers that I was at. There's kind of 3 different vibes I get from the 3 of them. Austin's, you're kind of more. It feels like you're more. If you're there, you love the sport, you love the cars, you love watching it. If you're at Vegas, you kind of feels like be seen, like to see everything at the glitz and glamour. Miami's kind of a blend of both. You got your people who love the sport, love to watch it, but there's also the celebrities and they want to be seen. It has kind of the I don't know what the word I want to use is. It just has a good mixture of both. So I would definitely say, as far as the 3 of them, I would probably have to agree with Parker, but it's definitely.
Hey, let's go.
All right, we need to send him. We need to send him to Vegas. I think he's wrong. He hasn't been to the Chicago street course.
Let's go on the ground. A person who has been there for it, saying and agreeing with me that I was correct, Josh. That is one for the good guys, right here. Hey,
so what is the?
Oh yeah, just cut me off.
I keep seeing.
No, that's cool.
No, I this is gonna be a way better question. Trust me.
Okay, cool.
I keep seeing people everywhere online. You're not the only one who has said this. Who is like, oh, this is such a different and more crazy experience than NASCAR. What about it is there? Is it because they have like tuna sandwiches there that you can buy and you don't have to go to the restroom in like a porta potty, or is there like something else about the events that, like, is it the fanfare? Like, what is it?
I will have to correct you on one thing. I did have to go in a porta potty. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
What happens when you race a parking lot, boys?
But it was like a complex of like 40 to 50 of them. So it wasn't like there were like 4 and then you had long lines. It was like
concert.
You got
style.
right in. Yeah,
just like nice porta potties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, another thing I told somebody is it's like compared to NASCAR, it's like anything that you could want or need and like be happy at a track, you have at F1. There's merch stands pretty much every other corner. There's tons of different options for food. There's tons of different drinks to try, tons of different clubs, places to hang out when it gets hot or when it's rainy, which Sunday morning I had to huddle with probably about a few thousand other people underneath an awning to get out of the rain. But I mean, anything that you can need at a track they have, whereas compared to NASCAR, yeah, you have them, but it's kind of
a little more sparse.
That's so interesting because that is the opposite experience that I had at Barcelona. Barcelona was an awful experience, and I felt like they had nothing I needed. And I nearly died of a heat stroke because they wouldn't sell me a water using a credit card, which was phenomenal. So
that's a tough one. Hey, Josh, that's a tough putt.
Hey,
stop it with that, man.
Hey, so Dylan, all right. If we had to boil it down, single coolest thing, single biggest thing that shocked you.
I mean, I know I talked about it before, but just the speed. I mean, it's night and day difference. I mean, it's especially in sitting in 18 and watching them go from flat out to nothing. It's hard to describe unless you see it in person. Because you see it on TV and they look like they're going fast, but apologize for my dogs back there. But I mean,
this is off the rails.
Yeah,
this interview. My goodness,
this is a podcast, baby.
Whoa!
Show! TV work.
Hey,
whoa!
This is a live produced show, AJ.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Jeez. We lose all our man. We get one guest. We lose all our manners. My goodness.
I mean, aside from the speed, I would just say like the attention to detail that they put there. It's crazy compared to any other race that I've been to. Because I know, like I said before, with all everything that you can need, but everything looks good and it's all presented well, and it looks like it's been there for years, but they built it in, I don't know, a few days, a couple weeks. And it looks like everything works. So
did you see any I know this was a big thing a couple years ago with the Miami GP. Did you see any fake beaches, or did they do away with those?
I think there was. They put some sand some places in the infield. I did see the fake water in the marina section.
Ah, classic.
Haven't made it real yet. I did talk with somebody.
You didn't try diving in?
No.
Okay.
No.
Got it.
No. I don't have that kind of money to get on one of the yachts, but even
Mm.
then, but yeah.
We
So,
didn't hook you up that well.
no.
We got you there. We couldn't get you in the fake marina.
No.
Darn. Damn.
That's
We'll
Maybe
have to talk to
unfortunate.
somebody. I'd blame Josh if I were you for that, but
I
we'll
wanted
try
him to
harder
have
next time.
the same experience of me dying from a heat stroke, so I didn't want him to have any free, easy, accessible, cool water to get into.
Yeah, well,
So-
if you were at Barcelona, they'd been like, "Hey, go get that water." You're like, "It's fake."
It doesn't exist.
I will say the one nice thing about Miami is they did have water refill stations. So
Whoa,
wow,
that's
we've really
cool.
gotten down to the nitty gritty of this event.
Barcelona, this is why you lost your race, damn it.
We've talked porta potties and water refill stations. Hey, if you're
This
interested
is
in
what
going to
fans
F1,
care about.
just
Parker.
know we understand exactly what happens on the ground in terms of your need to go to the bathroom and to replenish yourself after going to the bathroom. So we
Parker,
had
us three, when we go to an F1 race, we're
This is
down
what
in the
we
trenches. We're not
experience.
hanging out with Christina Aguilera or wherever they
I'm
would invite
only
you to.
going when I'm in the paddock. I'm sorry.
So
I
that's
ain't
why you
buying a
haven't
ticket.
gone in like 15 years.
I ain't buying a ticket.
He's
Not
waiting.
bad
I'm only
that
going
one
if I'm
either.
getting paid. All right.
Okay. All right. Dylan, I appreciate it. Glad you had a good time.
Oh, we're
man.
cutting them off. All right. No,
Well,
I do that part. How dare you take over? Dylan, you hang out. You stay now.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
all right.
For the
fine,
rest of the episode.
Fine. How much was your merch? We want an itemized receipt. I want to know how expensive F1 merch is, because I know how expensive my McLaren hat was, and I still cry.
Depends. You want the truth or you want?
Cold hard truth, damn it. I want the tough putness of the everything.
Let's see. Friday, I think I got two hats and a shirt for $350.
Holy moly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
And
that makes me
then-
sick.
And
Do
then
they
What?
something special for you?
No.
Like I don't know. Like, do
You
you
like put your
feel-
name on it?
Yeah.
No.
Do you feel like? Do you look
I
better?
just-
Does it even
afterwards?
have a
Do you lose
driver
15
on
pounds?
it?
No,
Do you
this
lose
one
15
totally
pounds when you
blank.
put it on? Is that what happens?
It
Does it have some
doesn't
sort of
even
functionality?
have a driver on it. Wow.
It's just like
Yeah,
a t-shirt. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Why do they even need to sell tickets? They just
I
sell
think-
merch.
I think the driver shirt was like $30 more if you wanted the driver on it, and I'm just like, for what? For some more printing?
Yeah.
Oh,
We are in the
my God.
wrong.
Well, I mean,
Business,
is it a nice
boys.
shirt?
Boys,
Is it a
yeah,
nice shirt?
It feels great.
I think this is the
Okay.
cue. We're shutting this whole thing down, and it's all over. It's
We're
done.
starting a
We're gonna
merch
start
business.
selling F1 merch. Yeah.
We're just selling F1 merch now.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Now you can leave. Now you are allowed to leave. You were not allowed before because the right person did not tell you it was over.
I thought we were
Alright.
gonna talk about hockey for a little bit.
What do you mean? We're not talking about hockey. What?
I want to talk
I'm
about the
down.
stars with Dylan.
Absolutely not.
Parker,
Oh, all right.
he did mention this in the group chat.
He did
that
mention
we are
hockey.
we
All
are
right, you get
legally
one,
obligated.
1 minute for hockey. 1 minute.
I was just gonna ask what you think the Stars' chances are to get
Stars
to
in
the
6.
Stanley Cup
Stars
in
in 6
6.
for
All right.
this one.
For this round?
next
All right.
one- Yeah, next one, I'll say, I think it's going to go 7 if the Stars
Okay.
make it.
I
Just
like
depends
it.
on who
I
they
like it.
play. But, I mean, I feel like they have a
Sounds
good enough
good.
team that they can play anybody and beat them. So,
There you go.
Alright. You got
That was in less than 1
35
minute.
seconds left.
I mean, if nobody gets hurt and we get our guys back, then we're all good. I think that's how
Love
I
it.
feel. I mean,
That's awesome.
normally I'm not
All
this
right,
confident, but with this team, I'm I'm excited. So we'll see.
Awesome.
There you go.
I'm asleep.
AJ, you could say goodbye to Dylan now that Parker and I have gotten to do it.
Yeah, you need to say
hey
bye.
Dylan, thanks for coming on, and we will. I think we'll have you on probably when the current round of NHL playoffs is over, and then we'll talk about the stars in the next round.
Yeah, Money Lap's now a hockey podcast. No
Sounds
longer a
good.
show.
I'm
It's a
gonna
hockey
turn it into it.
podcast.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe
we
we'll get-
decided, Dylan, before you leave, actually, now we're going to keep you one more time. We decided that we need to talk about shit we know nothing about, because that's the key to being successful on the internet. So we're all in for hockey. You know, come to us for your in-depth hockey stuff, and we'll be the place.
There you go.
I'm signed up.
All right, now you can leave.
Dylan is now.
Thank you,
our
buddy.
Dallas
Congratulations.
Stars.
Thank you.
That
Enjoyed
was
it.
cool. Glad you had a good time. Sorry
I
you're
did.
broke now, but maybe you can resell those shirts and hats for 50%.
Probably can. Probably
You
can.
most likely can. Yeah.
There
Great.
you go.
Awesome.
Dylan, I know you're still here though, so wait till
No.
you're done uploading. It's like, oh, you're good. You're good to leave now, Dylan. Thanks.
Come back.
This is the interview that never ends. You shall not leave this place.
great.
This is
that's
by
awesome.
far the most. This is the worst one we've ever done. No, he was great, but this is by far like we've had no.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Structure
like
this.
some obscure. Maybe F1
Maybe-
might overtake NASCAR someday.
I know.
Everybody
That's-
loves
that's
talking
how
about that.
That was
you
dumb.
kicked us off on just
That was
a
dumb. Hey, it was announced on Tuesday. I got a new job, another job, by the way. I'll be at TNT
Oh yeah,
in
congrats.
the summer in the pre and post race shows with Jay McMurray and Shannon Spake, and then a whole host of others, talented humans that are going to be across the broadcast. So that's cool. Thank you, guys.
we still expect you here twice a week, by the way.
I will still.
I don't
want
want to
still be
hear.
here.
Okay, good. All right.
I
just
got
wanna make
nowhere
sure.
else to be because
Okay,
nobody
good.
cares.
Do you think you and Jamie are going to get tired of seeing each other?
We really are going to spend a lot of time together. I don't think anyone
Yeah.
realized we now are a package deal. So
Yeah, you really are. Everybody loves you. Like
basically,
twin brothers.
Why hasn't he been
Somehow.
on the pod yet? That's the
He doesn't
question
do
I'm
them.
asking.
he doesn't do them. I've asked. He's
Yeah, I
vehemently
don't think.
opposed
Yeah,
to it.
I've never
So-
seen him on one.
I'll convince him eventually. It's just going to take probably months to get him on.
Okay, well, you got
So-
plenty of time. You're hanging out with him, so
Yeah, I know. What I do is I just basically, it's almost like Inception, where I bring it up often enough, and I sometimes mention it on the broadcast, of course, which he's now turned into a bit. Where anytime I
Yeah.
say it, he's like, "Oh, do you mean the money lap? Never heard of
Yeah.
it." And it's like,
There you go.
you should put him on the
so-
spot on the broadcast this weekend, and just
I think I have one time. I basically was like, "Oh, so you're coming on?" He's like, "Absolutely not." We'll keep trying. Full Speed on Netflix season 2 for the NASCAR Netflix show has come out. Has anyone watched it yet? I have not. It came out today.
No,
I
I didn't know it came out today.
I got kicked off my parents' Netflix account, so I can't watch it.
Aw. This is the
Okay,
saddest
Parker, let's
show
make
ever.
a Netflix. Let's make a Money Lap Netflix account.
Money Lap Netflix just for
so we can
Josh.
watch it. We can write it off. It's for business. We're gonna talk about it.
I can't watch Netflix anymore.
I haven't for like a year now, so I mean,
So Parker, you haven't seen it either, I imagine.
I haven't. No, I saw
Not
some of the
yet?
clips.
Okay.
I've seen all the clips that have been out there, which look great. Some of them look really cool. William Byron going to
Yeah.
a sports therapist was cool. Just real in-depth stuff. So I think it'll be interesting. Really interesting. I think that content's great. It's been missing for years. So I was actually talking to Jay McMurray about how he was on MBS 24/7, which was like back in the day. They had these shows like this on I think it was actually on TNT in USA maybe. Or maybe I don't remember what the TBS maybe, I can't remember. Nonetheless, there was that one. There was NASCAR 360, which was kind of following the Cup guys, and the MBS 24/7 was probably my favorite one because it followed like in depth of these teams at times. And he was driving for Rusty Wallace at a race at Las Vegas in one of the episodes. I remember pretty well. He was dating Rusty's daughter and everything. We had a funny conversation about it. So yeah, I think it would be cool.
Oh,
What?
can we talk about the awesome Back to the Future commercial thing that NASCAR put out for Homestead?
We talked about Homestead like 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about the cool video they made.
I know that was cool. Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski doing the whole Back to the Future deal. That was fun. Their acting
awesome.
was not the finest I've seen.
Yeah, I don't want it to be good though. I don't want it to be good.
Okay. But
I
I
didn't
did think
watch
they did a
it.
good job.
I didn't
I thought-
watch
I
it.
wanted
Was
to
it on
seem like they
Netflix? Was it
You
on
haven't
Netflix?
seen it?
Oh, it's cool.
Was it
It's
on
worth
Netflix?
watching.
Probably the coolest thing.
I don't
I
know
hope
where
you're
to.
joking. It's probably the coolest thing NASCAR's social media has probably ever put out.
Ever.
I'll give it.
I thought that was so cool.
I'll
It's
go
so
give
unexpected.
it.
Just to announce that the Homestead's back, they went through all that work to make that video just to announce that. Like, isn't that what we want out of NASCAR? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be
100%. I
very,
think their
very
social this
extra.
year. I think their social media this year has been absolutely crushing it. Like all the videos on
Yeah,
Instagram, and
they're
everything
killing
are
it.
so cool. All the effects and everything they're doing, it's awesome.
I am
The
not going to
editing's
go out
amazing.
and find. I'm not going to go find it, and I'm not going to go watch it. It better be presented to me with 4 laps to go on the Cup
Oh
Series
my
race
goodness.
and a full screen ad.
You're
I
done.
want that.
You're
It's
done.
honestly, it's that good. Like, I'd rather watch that than the last 4 laps of Talladega. You know?
That's. I don't think anyone believes you on that, but that's fine. Let's talk TV ratings. We mentioned it earlier, but there was some interesting stuff this weekend. Everything raced, by the way, literally everything. NASCAR Cup Series led the weekend at 2.56 million viewers on FS1. F1 was second at 2.2 million from ESPN or ABC. CW, Xfinity, 1 million, continuing the trend. 12 straight races over 1 million viewers. First time since 2017.
Congratulations. I
IndyCar.
want to say congratulations to you.
Thanks. Well, it's all me. So
It's
everyone's tuning in
incredible.
just for me. Yeah.
It's amazing. Can you bring those ratings over here?
It's weird. They don't follow me. I don't get it.
That's
I don't
so
understand.
odd.
Yeah, it's a
Don't
weird
get it.
deal. They're
Get it.
I bring in over 1 million viewers every time on the CW each weekend, and then they don't follow me here, and I don't get that. I mean, I know they're there just for me. So
I just think you got to keep mentioning it on the broadcast. I think you just got to somehow tie everything that happens on track into the money lap.
that is true. Hey, that was a money lap.
Mm-hmm.
We should get you like a little lapel, like a little pin.
Oh yeah, that would
Little
work.
money lap pin you put on your suit.
Like a little like visual representation that slowly
imagine they
people
probably don't
ask,
want
like,
that,
what
but-
is that? Yeah, that would probably get me in trouble. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah,
But
you could
and
get
maybe
away,
it's a
you
beg
could
for
probably get away with
forgiveness
it
thing.
at least once.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
now that we've set it out there, I can't really beg for forgiveness on it. So
Well, none of those people come over here and watch this, so they ain't gonna see it.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's
because
our
this is
only
such
viewer.
great content. Yeah, we only have
Denny-
one viewer, Denny Hamlin.
Denny.
So.
Okay, let's talk about what are we about to talk about?
Well, hold
TV
on.
ratings or
I was
something?
going to go through them all. So IndyCar on Fox, 914,000, a good bounce back from their tough rating at Long Beach, almost 1 million. NASCAR Trucks was 331,000 for FS1. We talked about how F1 had 786,000 in the 18 to 49 demo, and NASCAR was 470,000 in the 18 to 49 demo for Cup versus F1. Also, some other ratings that were out there. Formula E Monaco, apparently 765,000 on CBS. Formula 1 qualifying on Saturday, 756,000. Supercross, 423,000. And we said the NASCAR trucks. So this was someone replying to Adam Stern from autoracing1.com, giving those other numbers. So lots of racing out there.
Dude, IndyCar, that's tough. I know 914,000 is a lot of people, but like they signed that Fox deal hoping this would shoot them up, and this is a not even 20% gain, 25% gain maybe.
Well, the
over
first race was big. The first race they did well. I think, the Indy 500 will be the big one for them, right? And can they retain those
That's
viewers?
really all I
after?
care
Well, that's
about, right?
always the big one.
Yeah.
Like
No, I know,
that's-
but can they retain? One, can it have an increase? Two, can they retain the viewers? Right, that's the key for them. And I think anything close to 1 million is good. Like that's big. It's on pace for them. Similar to the Xfinity Series being at 1 million or more than 1 million is big. So the Xfinity Series at Texas peaked at like 1.5 million, 1.6 million, something like that. In the last bit of the race, because the rating always grows, as I've said on here before. So I just like to see all these people watching motorsports, cars going in circles, baby, on national television. You gotta love it.
We love that.
That is
You
pretty
gotta
cool.
love that. We just give that good clap. Give it a clap.
I don't think our mics will pick up clapping.
I hear him.
I'm hoping
hearing
it
everyone
does.
clapping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
don't
hope
hear
it
any
does.
of them.
I mean, I don't know where that came from. I just felt inspired. It was a moment of
Rising
happiness.
tides, baby. Rising tides.
It was. Should we move into F1 even further?
No.
The big
No.
news that's
We
happening.
We shouldn't.
Why not?
Is the big news the Alpine thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
Alpine
not
driver
that
change.
We can. I guess we can.
Well, they had two things happen. So their team principal, Ollie Oakes, resigned with immediate effect. He was like the 18th team principal in the last 7 years. That's being facetious. It was something like 7, but it's still done. And with that, Jack Doohan has been replaced by Franco Colapinto, and Flavio Briatore will basically take over as team principal. Who Flavio Briatore was the one who ran Benetton back in the day when Michael won his championships at Benetton, and then went on to win championships with Fernando Alonso at Renault, which is now Alpine. Then had to take a sabbatical after getting caught with that whole crash scandal with the Nelson Piquet Jr. at Singapore and Fernando.
I was trying to remember where I remember that name.
Yeah, he's now worked his way back in. He was basically a consultant and now is sort of just taking over once again. So he's back in the game. He's taken over. The interesting thing they said was that this Franco Colapinto deal is a 5-race deal, which does make you think there's obviously financial backing behind this. But also they said basically they could potentially rotate drivers, which was interesting. I don't know if anyone's ever done that purposely in F1.
I don't like that.
They do that. You've done it in the past where, like, obviously someone's money dries up or someone more money comes in or they have to make a change. But to say outwardly we're going to rotate drivers, that's a new one. I don't think anyone's done that. So I didn't even know that was allowed, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought there was rules against that.
You would think people would have done it by now if it was allowed.
Yeah.
But I guess not. I mean, I feel like that kind of hurts with how big branding is with F1 now. And I figured that they wouldn't want to do that. Makes the team look dumb.
Think about the merch side. Just what we were talking about with Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're going to have to spend another $300 on a new shirt. That's unfortunate.
Well, he got the one without the drivers' names on it, so it still applies.
It doesn't matter. It's just a team thing. He's just a McLaren fan, obviously.
I'm just gonna what an absolute mess Alpine is.
They are.
I feel like they have not had a single year since Ricardo left where they don't look like they're just fumbling in the dark. It's crazy to me. And this just looks even more bipolar. They can't make a decision. They can't stick anything through. The whole situation with Oscar Piastri, that whole thing blew up in front of them. This is now happening. I swear, man, all I can say is congratulations, Oscar. You avoided the absolute clown show that is happening at Alpine right now.
He definitely got the better end of that, for sure. The problem is, and this has been their problem for many years, and it's continued, it's always a problem in F1 teams because there's such massive investments by these car companies, is they get run by committee. And when it's run by committee, you get just schizophrenic decision-making, bipolar, whatever you want to call it. And it leads to just, a mess, essentially. And we've seen this in years past. There was many years ago, I think Honda, BAR were a problem like that. Toyota had that issue of being a little bit more committee run instead of just having a single person, sort of a Toto Wolff that comes in and takes control. I think Flavio Briatore is trying to do that with Alpine right now. And he's sort of wrestling control and slowly but surely gaining control of the team, which can potentially allow it to lead somewhere. But, if you look at McLaren, it's Zach Brown. Before him, it was Ron Dennis that ran that. Ferrari's probably in the similar situation, a little bit of being committee run at times. When Ross Brawn was there, and John Tott, they were kind of like the guys, and there wasn't, people respected them and listened to them. So I think F1 teams sort of have to be run almost dictatorship-like, not by committee, right? And that's where they run these problems, and that's why you see all this. And they are huge investments, and they're ginormous businesses and ginormous entities, but it still means you need just one leading vision, one person making the decisions, one person going down a certain path, and that's how you can be successful. At least that's what history tells us. So,
yeah, it's not looking. It just looks bad from the outside. I'm thinking with Aston Martin. I mean, they're in a lame duck year, but they still look more put together than Alpine does, and that's impressive. It's just yikes, dude.
Hey, some good news from the world of F1. Potentially.
Oh.
Carlos Sainz Sr. is considering running against Mohammed Ben Sulayem for the FIA president role. That would be good. We get a real racer in there. Good guy.
Put a rally
Badass
driver
race
in
car
there.
driver, by the way. Guy's run the Dakar for years. Obviously was amazing in World Rally. Obviously his son is racing in F1, but still, I think that would be a really good move. He seems like a sharp dude, and he's a badass race car driver. So he would right that ship from all the insanity that's occurred in the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like.
Does he vouch for V10s like Mohammed Ben Sulayem does?
That I don't know, but I think he would be a fan.
Okay.
That guy, I
he's a
could see him
badass.
being a fan of that for sure. So, definitely.
Parker,
What's that?
we got a comment on your guys' Monday show, and I felt like it's a good point to address it. CKY Moto said, why should Max get a penalty, but Piastri, but not Piastri for pushing Antonelli off in the sprint? And I felt like it was important because I feel like we did not mention that neither of them got a penalty this weekend.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Let them race.
Yeah.
No one should have a penalty.
Yeah.
No one. It's ridiculous. No penties.
As
No
long as it's
penalty.
consistent. I don't give a rat's ass.
No penalties.
Either way,
no penalties.
I want consistency.
Erroneous. It all counts. No penalties.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We got that out.
That's what I think. So, AJ, do you have a fun motorsport this week?
I do.
What is it?
Remember how I couldn't? Okay, so remember last week, Josh, when I was like, "Hey, do you remember what that one we had in the group chat was?" And I couldn't find it. It's because it was in our Money Lap Instagram group chat.
Oh,
and I found out like 7 of them.
Yeah.
I literally thought of that. Yeah, we have a group chat for every social media.
I just sent you guys a video on that one earlier today. Did anyone see that?
It.
No.
It was two
posted
dudes
the
fighting
chat.
at Texas Motor Speedway. They were in the stands, they were like both like 65, just swinging. It was.
Oh no.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Too many adult beverages and loud race cars. That'll do it to you.
Yeah, we don't like to see that.
No.
Let me.
Let's not
pull
bring
this
that
one
energy
up.
in here. I want to see what AJ's thing was.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. You might have seen it. I think Parker, you might have been the one that sent it. I don't know.
Oh, I did.
It's I think so. If I remember, it's either you or Josh. It's
Is there a way I could do this without
mud go-kart racing or something.
Oh, I didn't send this.
I am.
But it's not even like go-karts. It's like they're on like modified lawnmowers or something, like 0 turns.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, well, I used to watch Lawnmower Racing on Speed Channel back in the day. All right, so if you're not watching, if you're listening, we're watching a guy basically, in the like layback sit-down lawnmowers run through like a hay bale course, single car at a time, single lawnmower at a time. Oh, this is fun.
This is sick.
This is
it's
cool.
even changing. Now he's in like straw.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's stuck. Oh.
No. Yeah, and it has tracks. It doesn't have wheels.
Yeah, they took the wheels off and put like tank tracks on it almost.
Oh, no, I could get into this. This is cool. I like this.
Yeah, it's cool. Get some jumps in
This is
there.
a good
Speed
find.
these things up a little.
Oh, this is a great find.
Well,
we
somebody
should
else
become
found it for
experts
me.
in this.
Yeah.
We are now the experts in sit-down track tank lawnmower racing.
I want to get the betting odds for this thing.
Oh, a little chicane.
Oh, he just nailed the
Love that.
hobo.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would be a little worried about going face first into a hay bale all strapped in like that. That wouldn't be fun. Got lights.
Well,
they're doing
yeah,
this
I
at
mean,
night.
It's racing, dude.
And they're doing this at night. The whole course is lit up. What money did they spend on lights?
Doing
Hey, Bob.
endurance races.
Hey, Bob Pockris, does this have lights?
Well, they even have like a whole UI set up for like his timing and everything. This is
I
clearly
know they
like
take this serious.
well, yeah, it's a dang racing sport, dude.
Yeah.
Why would they not take it
This is
serious?
the top of the game, basically. Wow.
Well, yeah.
That's cool. We should do picks. You guys haven't done your picks. I did mine on Monday. Who you got for this
I don't
weekend?
even know who's racing. Where are we racing at?
Well, Josh.
I do not look until I go home from work on Friday.
Wow.
Where we're racing.
We are racing at Kansas, if I remember right?
Kansas.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Cup and trucks, no Xfinity.
Yeah.
And
so he's off.
And we've got what's the other one?
The Indianapolis Road Course.
Indy Grand Prix.
Correct.
Yes. Correct.
Now I remember. My
All right,
bad.
make some picks.
I'll take in Cup, I'll take Tyler Reddick. In trucks, I will take Raja Karuth. And in IndyCar, I'll take Pelot.
Wow, went out on a limb on that
one. What?
Oh boy.
Oh,
man. Isn't he like the favorite right now?
He's
won everything on road courses.
Yeah.
So like, what's the big deal?
Oh, we all picked him too.
So. Yeah, I clowned on them for not
really?
picking him last week.
Landon and I did.
Yeah. That's
crazy. There you go. What are your picks, Josh?
Before you do your picks, Josh, you know what's funny about that is James Hinchcliffe responded to, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did the Long Beach picks, and we all had different picks for IndyCar, and every other one we all had there was at least some repeats, and he was like, "Hey, look, it's the only one that has multiple. No one has the same pick." That shows basically saying look how competitive it is, and then below it's gone on to win every race. It's like, oh no,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll start off with IndyCar. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say Alexander Pelot.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go Corey Heim in the truck race. And then hold on. Big leap here.
Dude, if you say who I think we're about to say, I'm just gonna leave. Oh my goodness.
Larson, baby. Put it on the board.
All right.
There you go.
We'll see. For those that listen on Apple Podcasts, we're at 222 5-star reviews. We only have 5 stars. And we haven't had a new one in a while. So we would love new ones. If you're listening, share this with friends. I mean, Denny.
But only if they're 5. We don't want to hear.
Basically, we've gotten 222 reviews, which is shocking considering Denny Hamlin's our only viewer and listener. So we do.
Those are all his accounts.
Request that must be what it is. So if he could just make another account, make another review, that would help us out. On Spotify, we've gotten some comments. What we got here? Derek Henze says, "Hey, PK, Josh, and AJ, another great show. Thank you guys again for reading my comments. I'm torn between attending Sonoma Raceway for Cup or Laguna Seca for IndyCar. Man, it's hard being a racing fan. Dude, Josh,
my take on
your
commercials.
Take on the commercials during Talladega are hella on point. Keep up the great work, guys."
He's from NorCal. I'm just calling it out right now.
Yeah, I can see
hella.
That. He said hella. I would say if you're deciding between those two, Laguna Seca is one of the most beautiful racetracks I've been to, but the Sonoma is also one of the more beautiful racetracks I've ever been to. So I don't know. That's a tough decision.
Is it the same?
Can I give my feedback?
Must be the same. I'm guessing he's saying he has to make a choice between the two.
It may be a financial decision.
That's
what
I was thinking. A financial choice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just say I feel like Sonoma is a great track, but I think if I had to pick between the two, I'd go to Laguna Seca. I think there is nothing cooler than watching cars go down the corkscrew. There is nothing that beats that. I think I could sit there all day and just watch them go by in the corkscrew, and I would be the happiest camper in the world.
I will back you up on that because when I was last there, I was doing IMSA TV many years ago, and I went over the corkscrew during practice and just sat there and watched cars go by through it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So no,
you think there's any good spots? You think I get it early there to get the good corkscrew spots?
No, I think you can move around. I mean, it gets a little packed up there. There's a bathroom up there.
Yeah.
For those that are wondering, there's like a real bathroom.
Like a bathroom? Really?
Yeah, a real bathroom up top. Yeah, right at the top of the hill.
Better than Miami.
So, yeah. I mean, for those knowing that we only comment
F1
on
needs to go there.
But I mean, after the race, there's a lot of great spots in Monterey too. If you want to go grab food or something like that, Monterey is beautiful.
Yes,
highly recommend.
Monterey is a really pretty place.
You know, it's expensive to get married in Monterey. I found that out when I was planning it.
That doesn't surprise me.
About 50 or 60 grand just starting. So
yeah, Carmel's right there, one of the wealthiest places
wedding?
In the country. So
yeah.
Hey, on YouTube, we had some comments. JP Stoffler said, "Love the show. Keep doing what you're doing, boys. We're gonna keep going. I don't know if this one will get the same rating. We're gonna keep doing it." We also got an email.
I bet the comments are gonna say this is the best one.
I know that's gonna be the best part because the key to internet success is to talk about you don't know anything about, and that's what we're just basically doing.
And you wanted to shut down the hockey conversation.
I know. I didn't want us to succeed. Basically, we had some emails here to friends@themoneylap.com from Mark Johnson. Parker, being a Connecticut native, have you ever run a at Stafford Motor Speedway? My nephew runs a street stock there. As a side note, just received my Motley Crue diecast. Let's go. Look forward to getting it signed someday. Let's go 1,000 horsepower. Mark, first of all, great choice on 1,000 horsepower. Great choice on the Motley Crue diecast. I hope to be able to sign it for you sometime if I'm at one of these, if you're ever at a NASCAR race. The Stafford Motor Speedway, no, I have not run there, but I will put it out there that probably since 2021, I've been trying to kind of get into like those, they do like a Wednesday show at Stafford in modifieds that I'd love to kind of dip in the modified world when I have some time. So this year is probably not the year to do it, but maybe next year. And if I do, you'll hopefully be there. Chad Bowen said, "Hi all, I have a diecast car I'd like Parker to sign. What is the best address to send it to? I'll of course pay for shipping each way." Chad, that's a good question. I have a PO box that is out there on the internet that we could send it to. I'm just warning you, it could
is
take
not
a while.
open.
I don't go there often. So, and every time I go there, there's a ton of fan mail, and then I have to like go through it, and it takes forever. So, I would say if I were you, I'd keep the diecast for now. If you come to a race, let me know on Twitter, and we'll meet up, and I'll sign it. And if you're not coming to a race this year and you want to get ahead of time, then we can figure it out. Send us a message. We'll get it to you. So, I appreciate you. Thanks for getting that diecast, though.
That's awesome. I wonder where they got them all. I hope it was with our partner at spoilerdiecast.com.
I hope it was spoilerdiecast.com as well, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just it's not an ad read, but I'm gonna throw that up.
Use code MONEYLAP.
Yeah,
that's a great note to end on. Go to spoilerdiecast.com. Get all your diecast, like the Motley Crue diecast or the diecast that Chad had. I don't know which one it was, but we appreciate you. So, boys, it's been a fun Wednesday group chat. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
I appreciate you guys as well.
Oh,
yeah. What?
One little piece of housekeeping. I am going to Laguna Seca this weekend for IMSA.
Oh,
and I will be following. I will be following Bozy Tatarevic around for a day on Saturday, and maybe we'll see if the video comes out. Maybe it might be another one of those fun a day in the life ofs. We are still working on the Bob Pockris one. I say we're still working on it. It's on my to-do list, and I need to do it. And I've been slammed, but I'm gonna go film another one because I'm just. The fun part is filming it. The not fun part is editing it, and I'm having a lot of fun filming it and watching them do stuff. So I'm excited.
I'll give you one word of advice. All the money's made in the edit.
I know.
AJ knows that well. Boys, it's been a good time. Oh no! We had a guest. It was just the wrong one because he didn't know about Wednesday again. We forgot to tell Kyle Busch to come to Wednesday. He was there on Monday. It got all messed up. He didn't get in. And then we forgot to tell him we were doing this on Wednesday. We set up Dylan with the Miami GP report. Oh, my God. Guys, this is unbelievable. We are literally the worst at this that anyone has ever been. It's a miracle we have a single listener with Denny Hamlin. Anyway.
We appreciate you, Denny.
We'll work on it next time.
Thanks, Denny.
Thanks for listening. Yep. Thanks for watching.
See you Monday, Denny.
Yeah,
we'll see you Monday.
Excited, Denny.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to the Money Lap. If you like this show, please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Share it with friends. We want to spread the word of great motorsport shows, of which we're somewhere up and around there. I'm not exactly sure where, but nonetheless, you can also reach out to us anytime on across social media or at our website, themoneylap.com, or at our email, friends@themoneylap.com. And of course, you can always leave us a review. 5 stars gets you on this very show. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Goodbye.